In one. This is Independent Showcase Season 4, episode number 1. We're back with another Independent Showcase. We love these because it's great, don't get me wrong, it's great interviewing all of the names that we've interviewed, and we're going to bring you some more some names coming up at the end of this that's got coming on. But it's always good when we get to interview some of the independents. We do it over here for the UK. Obviously, I have a great thing of working in independent wrestling over here as well, which is an amazing thing for me. But joining us today, someone you can see on Wildkat Sports with some Wildcat Wrestling. It is Lucky Leone. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad. Like I said before we got on here, the sun is finally coming out in the UK, and you've been on your a little couple of days of nice
Yes.
weather, right?
Yep. And where I'm located in New Orleans, it is so sunny and hot and nice. So I'm just in heaven. I'm living my best life finally.
It's great to have you guys on. Like I say, it's always great when we do the independent side of things because obviously, don't get me wrong, it's great that we get the people from TNA and AEW and WWE, but it's also great when we can take a step away from that and into the world of the independents. So tell us straight away, look, we are just inside of 2 months, starting the third month of 2026. How has 2026 begun for you in the independent world?
Well, 2026 has not been going my way. I've had one match against somebody that I've worked with for a while, and I beat her in our debut match, and it all made sense to me. And then when we fought again, she ended up beating me. So I'm hoping that as the weeks continue on, and the next time Wildcat has a show, I will get to beat her again and solidify why I am the best female wrestler at Wildcat Sports.
That's what you need to be. And so it's 1-1, so we do need that rubber match.
Exactly.
Is what we need. Just talk about like women's wrestling independence over here in the UK. Obviously, there's some great stuff going on. Obviously, there's Wrestle Queendom, which is obviously Will Ospreay and a guy called Dan Reed. They're doing some great stuff over here. Women's independent wrestling over in America, has it kind of grown as much as when, say, for example, when the WWE stuff's growing? Did you find there's a bit of an upward trajectory from that?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the other day I went to watch NXT as a fan, and they had a bunch of the tryouts there, and almost like half or more of the women were from the independent scene, which isn't true for a lot of WWE and NXT tryouts. You know, they always pull a lot of athletes and college athletes. So seeing the independent woman getting like pulled and shown, it was amazing. And I think women are getting so much better because they have so many opportunities to show off how much better they can be, and it's just a really, really gratifying thing to see the improvements and the fact that it's hard sometimes to get on a show because there's way more women in line to get that spot for you.
Is that a good? It's definitely a good thing now. Obviously, there's a lot of, as you said, there is now a lot of variety in wrestling as well. So you've got like you mentioned there, you went to see NXT, you've got the TNAs, you've got the AEWs, you've even got the NWA, which all offer some slightly different kind of, I suppose, in a way, avenues. But you may think a character like your character, or for example, Charlie Evans out of Australia, she believes that belongs in AEW. That's just where her style fits. That's where she sees herself. But because we've got so many different opportunities now in America, it gives you that. Do you find there's more of an opportunity now that perhaps you could get a contract somewhere like that because there's more opportunities now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if we're being honest, back in the 90s and early 2000s, I think I could have gotten a contract because I'm really good in a bikini, and I think pillow fights would have been my thing. But as we are in a time where female wrestling is absolutely same level as men doing crazy hard technical wrestling, I think it is so much, there's just so much more opportunity 100% of the way, and women are just being taken seriously, and that's phenomenal.
Do you think that's also why now that they're taking the opportunity more of the like the independent wrestler, so to speak, rather than yes, she good. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's great that you've seen track and field and gymnastics and rugby or American football and basketball, but it's better now because the people coming through the independent scene have that, they can get selected now because they are looking for more quote unquote wrestlers more than, as you say, someone who looks good in a bikini.
Mhm. And yeah, and I think that's absolutely true of it because being a wrestler isn't just being physically adequate to be a wrestler, right? It's about connecting with audiences, it's about having personality and aura. And as much as superstar athletes from college and other sports, they just might not have to have that other puzzle piece to fit in. Whereas independent wrestlers, they know that that is the bread and butter of what it takes to be a superstar. So I think having somebody with those accolades and understandings of the world of wrestling puts them ahead of the game. And again, not to sound negative at all. I mean, having the athletic background that so many talented current superstars have coming from a collegiate world, it's just different, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice to have the variety. Don't get me wrong, it
Yes.
really is. But taking you'd rather take a chance on a wrestler, rather
Mm,
potentially that someone that can actually do the kind of the most important thing, right? In
yeah.
terms of what you're looking at doing. How did you come into the world of wrestling? What brought you into wrestling?
So my story is a little bit different than a lot of independent wrestlers in that I went to a live wrestling show in 2023, and I fell in love immediately. It was a WWE show. I had not seen wrestling in person before. I saw it and I just knew that this is what I was meant to do. I've been pursuing other athletic, goals with distance running and kind of maintaining like marathons and ultra marathons, stuff like that. And it was really satisfying. I had, dabbled in the world of music, but that wasn't my forte either. And I just loved the idea of being able to be an absolute rock star while also being a badass, excuse my French, and getting to beat somebody up. Like I grew up in Jersey. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind and to find the avenue, finally see it performed in front of me, where everything that I love about, entertainment as well as just like women being so freaking cool, it just changed my mind. And so I signed up for wrestling school literally a week later.
How did you find that? Did you find that because obviously there's a lot of conditioning in distance running. My sister used to run marathons as well, so I know there's a lot of like the conditioning element to it.
Yeah.
Did that help with the training, or did you have to kind of tweak it a little for wrestling?
Let me tell you that distance running doesn't do anything for wrestling training except give you the mentality to keep going. That's the only thing that translated. There is no type of steady state cardio that I could do for hours that will translate into working in the ring. And so, I mean, I was prepared to work hard, and I knew from marathon training that I would get through it, but by no means was I ring ready when I walked in that door.
Did it surprise you just about, did it take you back to, I mean, I've done some wrestling very, very young. I mean, I'm in my 40s now, but when I was a teenager, I'd done about a month wrestling training.
Yeah.
And I learned very quickly and very painfully that it really wasn't for me. What kind of took me was something as silly as running the ropes gives you all the lines to go across your back. And there's a way to do it as well, which is so, you don't think that when you're watching it, you have to run and do something a certain way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was extremely surprised at how sore and kind of like inept I was when I began. I mean, there are bruises on bruises, places I didn't know bruises could exist, black and blues all over myself. I couldn't go outside in a tank top because it looked like I got literally abused. Like people would be like, "Are you okay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, no, I did this to myself. I actually paid to do this." But it's crazy the amount of abilities that you just do not tap into in any other sport, in any other workout at all that could get you ready for wrestling, really.
No, there really isn't. I can totally agree with that. When did it start? When did it start? I know you, of course, you go through that. You start running the ropes and you start doing the bumps, and you're like, okay, this is hurting, blah blah blah. But at what point did it dawn on you actually, yeah, I can do this, and I'm actually quite good at
Oh, well, still hasn't happened yet. So when it does, I will let you know.
it?
And there's never been a time in my life where I'm like, I'm good at this. But it's that feeling that keeps me showing up every single time because if I can figure out something or do something a little bit better, like it just keeps me going. But I think the fact that after being just mercilessly beat up constantly, whether it's by myself doing the conditioning or, in the ring working with people, just the ability to want to come back the next day, that's been the motivating factor. There's no physical light that went off for me quite yet. I hope it does.
Is it kind of the things you mentioned there about wanting to come back the next day? And is that something that perhaps wrestlers do drop out for, right? They do this training and they start bumping and they're like, hang on a minute. I mean, like, a bit like myself, it took me
Yeah.
about 4 weeks, but I was like, this isn't working and it
Oh,
isn't gonna work. But it's sometimes that also takes the guts to view to say, actually, it's not something that I want to do.
yeah. Yep.
and to come away and try and find something that you can do. So, but the fact that you're doing it and you're putting yourself through it and you're going back is a testament to you and your actual, I suppose, in a way, your passion to want to do it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm very lucky because at Wildkat Sports, we probably do it a little bit differently than other schools across the country, and that we don't you can't even put a finger on the ring until you pass a conditioning test. So I didn't step foot in the ring for months. And I, again, am a marathon runner, ultra marathon runner. I can do anything I put my mind to, but I couldn't do 200 push-ups in a row. You can't get in the ring. I couldn't do leapfrogs over people. You can't get in the ring. So all of these things I had to be tested on before they even let me go in there, because the safety of everybody else who's put in the work is dependent on me. And so I thought, again, that's really important. And what you said, I absolutely agree. If it's not for you, you can't go in there and make somebody else potentially be unsafe. That's just so
Mm.
unfair. So, it's
Definitely
you.
not. Yeah, there is that fine balance, and when because you got to remember that, and you're right what you're saying, because you guys are literally putting your lives on the line by going in there. So you've got to be able to be comfortable in and confident in what you're doing, but also trust the opponent's going to do exactly the same for
Yeah.
you. And that is a big thing. So if anyone that doesn't know you, tell us about your character in wrestling, and have you actually is it still developing, or is it kind of, or is it natural to you, or is it a developing character that you're doing over the course of time?
Yeah. I think, Lucky Leone is as much me as I am her. You know what I mean?
Mm.
We are from Jersey. And like I said, I stick to what I believe in. I'm unapologetic in my beliefs and what I, care about. I am very straightforward, and I like, which is, maybe not the most exciting thing, but I play by the rules and I play by the book, and I like to do things the right way. And if it's going to be the hard way, then I'm going to do it that way. And I think that's apparent in every aspect of my life. And so get to turn it up and be lucky, it's been really, really fun. And I get to play on these things that I might have been embarrassed about growing up. Because I grew up at a time where, I don't know if you've heard of this TV show. It's called Jersey Shore. It
Yeah.
was big on MTV, right? And I grew up at a time when that was going on. I moved away from New Jersey and people hated me just because I was from that place. Okay. And so I realized I can't apologize for who I am. That's where I was born. That's how I was raised. That's what I know. And so now to get to own it and work on that and continue to develop and dig deeper into the things that made me who I am today, it's awesome. So yeah, I think Lucky hasn't been put to the test quite yet as far as the ring. There hasn't been that much of trials and tribulations, and I think that's going to be defining. But as of right now, character wise, yeah, we are where we need to be.
Excellent. And obviously there's more layers if it needs to go there, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Mhm.
important. Really is. But I want to go back to when you said about you went to a WWE show. When you went there, what was it about it that kind of drew you in? Was it the lights? Was it the whole presentation? How did it sort of draw you in?
So what actually drew me in wasn't really the show itself. So I walk in and I look to my left and my right and I see little kids, this high. I see adults 90 years old. I see big families, little families, couples, straight people, whatever color people, any kind of person under the sun, all filing into this arena together. And I was amazed. So as I sit down and I hear someone's I was pretty sure it was CM Punk's music play, and every single person sings along. And I thought, what do I not know? Why does everybody know this song? Why are we all singing it? What's happening? This isn't like a rock concert, but it is. You know what I mean? That man's an absolute rock star, and he commanded everybody to pay attention to him and to participate. And I just loved the camaraderie. I was near tears. I was like, I'm singing with this little 6-year-old and this old couple, and we're all having the best time of our lives. Like, I just loved it.
It's incredible to think that. And obviously, at the time of recording, everyone, CM Punk will be getting in the ring in about 5 or 6 hours' time
Right.
against Finn Balor at the Elimination Chamber. I do have to ask a question. I know this is going to go out after, so it may or may not be a spoiler to you. But if you had to choose what was in that crate, what is it going to be?
Oh, I don't know. If I had to choose what was the great, I hope that they're just like messing with. Okay, it could go two ways. I hope that they're messing with us, and our truth just like walks behind it and then walks back out or something. Or maybe they try and pull out, I don't know, a recent retiree, like a phenomenal guy, something like that. So I have no clue because I haven't been keeping up with my SmackDown, so I apologize.
Fair enough. That's absolutely fine. They have not given anything away, but I will, not saying I will, but there is a certain somebody that has been removed off of the AEW roster that has been linked with the WWE. And there's more
Well,
than one.
I saw somebody's mask get taken off. Does that have to do with the crate?
No, so that was
Okay,
the mystery man. Funnily enough, it isn't the mystery. It isn't going to be the end of the mystery man. That was from the guy that was taken off was from Seth Rollins' training school, funnily enough.
right.
So it's not going to be no, this is going to be something different. So there's two wrestlers that have been there's two wrestlers in AEW that have been linked with WWE. One has
Oh,
been just been removed off of the roster, and one
okay.
hasn't. I won't delve in, but
Yeah, because I got no clue. Unfortunately, I don't keep up with AEW the way I should. I love what they do. It's just too much
mm.
programming for me, you know?
How do you think? I have to review it every week. I got like 7 hours of wrestling I have to do a
Oh,
week, and
yeah.
you
And
know,
I'm going back in time still. Like I started from the beginning, so I'm still on like, the 2001 Royal Rumble. Like I got
oh,
lots of stuff to go, you know?
that was brilliant. I was just changing the subject. I was actually watching an old WrestleMania the other day. WrestleMania 17 it was, and yeah, because everyone was all like, everyone loves like the Roman Reigns, the old Roman Reigns music when he was ahead of the table. That
Yeah,
song,
yeah.
'cause it didn't have any, it didn't need any lyrics, right? It was
Right.
just an incredible song. And I was watching the WrestleMania 17, and Stone Cold Steve Austin come out to Disturbed. He had two songs. It was the same, the glass smashes, and then it goes into the song. But this was actually one of the first times Austin had someone sing his song in a sense because it was they changed it to Disturbed and they done a version of Austin's song. And it was just incredible listening to it. And I put it on our TikTok, and it like everyone loves it because it's just a
Yeah,
define an aura. I'm going to start asking. Did kind of ask a random wrestling question then because I went into asking what was in the crate. Um,
yeah.
but yeah, it may be the man on my shirt. Who knows?
Oh,
Um,
right. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Yeah, yeah,
it could be. It may
yeah.
not be, but it could be.
Let's
I'm going to
see.
ask you some more wrestling songs. And I appreciate maybe you've come into wrestling late, so you may not have an extensive list of stuff. But if I have to say to you, as of 2026, what is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling theme songs? What would you choose as your top five?
Um, let's see. My top five would be. Woo, okay. I mean, I don't want to get canceled for this, so I'm just going by the way the music sounds to me. Okay. Obviously, I love "Sexy Boy," right? That's going to be top tier
Yeah.
for me. Love Shawn Michaels. Um, Probably "Real American" just because it's a bop. You can always jam to that. Again, don't care for the person who had the song. Love the song. Let's see. Kurt Angle, like his, like "You Suck." Oh my
Yeah,
god, I love that.
that was
Uh,
brilliant.
and then I'm really, really loving Kit Wilson's song, so I'm gonna allow that a new one to enter my top five. And then my other favorite is Asuka's song. What a jam! That is a rock and roll beat. So, what are yours?
Oh, you're asking me now. I'm done. I asked the questions on here now. I'm joking.
I wanted to see if am I so off base? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's great. Do you know what? Those are, I think someone has said Real American once on here, but the other four I don't think have been said before. So they got so we got some new ones to add to the list. My top five. I'll do it like I would normally. So I've got a tattoo here, and we're going to talk tattoos because I know you've got a load in a minute. I've got one you
Uh-huh.
can't really see it. It's on the back end of my arm. It's a tattoo of the Brood. So the Brood back in the 90s was Gangrel, Edge, and Christian.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and obviously Edge being the one that come out and kind of had the most, arguably the most successful career going back anyway to it, and I've got the rated R star on my back, so it probably
Nice.
gives you where I'm going with this. Edge is one of my top five Metalingus. I sang that very badly at Forbidden Door and at Clash at the Castle a couple of years ago. So that's one. The second one, and I only heard this again the other day, and I totally forgot how great of a song it was. I was fortunate enough, and I will show you, to meet this man, Kevin
He's
Nash,
Oh,
Big
hell
Daddy
yeah.
Cool.
Love him. He's the
Yeah, and
nicest guy ever. Oh.
he's great, and it was the NWO's theme, and I totally forgot all about it. And the other reason is, and this goes into a bit later on, Eric Bischoff's coming back on the show soon,
Uh-huh.
so that was kind of leads nicely into
Ooh.
that. So that's two. I've always been a big Motorhead fan.
Yeah, yep,
Um,
sure. Same.
Yeah,
Yep.
so Triple H is both of the King of Kings. I like the mashup. I like the one that starts the game and goes into the King of Kings. So I'm
Yeah.
going to
Yeah.
choose that one. I'm not going to have them both. I'm going to choose that song. Evolution for me was another great one.
Yeah.
Going back now, I should really put a Brit, and you put Kit Wilson in, who, by the way, used to be Sammy Smooth over here in
Oh.
the UK. He used to work for a promotion. So the promotion that we work for, they had a different name before they
Mhm.
turned to Ignite. They were called Clash, and
Oh,
he was
cool.
working there as Sammy Smooth. So there's Kit Wilson, but I'm going to go with someone that actually lives about 20 minutes from me, but he's probably in America right now, and that is Will Ospreay.
Oh, yeah.
And his song is great. So I'm going to put that on there just
Love it.
because I need to put a Brit on
Yeah.
there. So there we go.
Represent. Yep.
Yeah, represent, right? You did. I mean, you put Kit on there, right? So I had
Yeah.
you. I've got to make I've got to put a Brit on there. Another question for you is, I always call this table for free. So you can have three people around a dinner table that you can talk wrestling with. Don't have to, it could be living or past. You can have three people around a dinner table to learn from and to talk to about wrestling. Who is your three going to be?
Number one, without a doubt, without question, is going to be Chelsea Green. I think she is the most brilliant, beautiful, hilarious, collaborative, wonderful person on planet Earth. I'm obsessed with her. So be her. And then I would love to have William Regal there. I think that would be
Oh,
great to pull from his brain to get any knowledge of his. And then probably Paul Heyman. I think this would be a wild dinner. We'd have the best time.
I had Heyman on my list, so I
Yeah,
definitely agreed with that. I had Undertaker as well, just
yeah, yeah.
because the guys, when the knowledge and everything that he's done. And actually, I was going to have, I always have Triple H on there, but I'm going to take him off for this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to add someone that's no longer with us, which is Wyndham Rotunda, Bray
Yeah.
Wyatt, as many
Yeah.
people know. There is a real story. There is actually a real eerie story, if you don't mind me,
Oh,
if you don't mind me telling you. So, obviously,
yeah.
Bray Wyatt passed away on, I think it
Mhm.
was a Wednesday or a Thursday. Before it was a week of All In over here in the UK. I was 2 days before him. I would have passed away on the same day he did if I'd not gone into the hospital, and I would have had near enough the same. Obviously, we don't know the ins and outs of what he had. We know he had a heart condition, which I think it was COVID related. I think that's what they said. I can't. Obviously, I've never seen the autopsy or anything like that. But I was in acute heart failure, and I didn't know.
God.
And I hadn't been well for about a month, but like it wasn't like debilitating as such. But I just took myself into hospital, just to just because it wasn't.
Yeah.
I thought I had an infection that weren't going away, basically. So
Yeah.
in the end, I took myself into hospital, and they took my blood pressure, and it was 236 over 138.
Oh my God.
And the doctor asked me, how have I walked into the room? That's how I kind of knew how serious it was. Anyway, that was on the Sunday.
Uh-huh.
And then I think he passed away on the Wednesday or the Thursday. And
Uh-huh.
basically, the doctors had said to me, if I hadn't gone in on the Sunday, by Wednesday or Thursday, I would have been dead. So
Oh my God.
I literally fortunate enough to be here talking to you,
Yeah.
telling the towel rather than not being here. And
Right.
it's just
Oh
an
my.
eerie thing how he passed away of
Yeah.
it, and I'm here telling the story of it by
Yeah.
being fortunate enough to be here. But I wanted him
Absolutely.
around the dinner table, so I went off on a tangent. But I wanted him as an incredible person that he is.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
Another question about wrestling is obviously that you guys have to eat wellish, or at least very much well, if you want to keep into a good shape. But everyone has their vice. Everyone has their cheat days or their. And if you had to have a go-to cheat meal, what would it be?
My go-to cheat meal is one that I allow myself to have once a week. And it's my favorite because it's an entire experience. Okay. I take myself to the movie theaters. I get a massive, buttery, disgusting popcorn and a regular Coke. And I go for it. I don't care. I watch the movie. I don't care if I'm alone, I'm with people, and I eat that popcorn to the bottom. I make myself sick on popcorn, and then I do it again the next week. I love popcorn so much.
Popcorn, chocolate is my vice. I've got a
Yeah.
sweet tooth. If I go to a restaurant, I'm going straight for the dessert menu
Oh,
first to see
really?
what's there, and then I'll go and choose everything else. So I'm very much a dessert
Oh,
menu guy. If you could have a band play you out in a wrestling arena, what band would you choose?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm actually super lucky in that my current walkout song was made by the band of my dreams. So, growing up, I'm big into punk rock, especially East Coast punk rock. And so there was a band from Boston area called A Loss for Words. I became friends with one of the members, and when he saw that I was wrestling, he said, "Can I make a song for you?" And so, under his new band's name, he produced and created this amazing song, "Better Luck Next Time" by his band Safe Hands. And so I am literally living out my dream, walking out to a dream song. If I had to pick a different band, I would hope that maybe. Oh, I would want Lady Gaga with a full band to play my
There.
music.
Awesome. That is
Yeah.
great. I would be stupid and have Motorhead. I know he's no Lenny's no longer with us, but it would
Yeah.
have to be him. If you had to choose an actress to play you in your action movie, who would you choose to play you?
I would choose Aubrey Plaza because people already tell me that I look like Aubrey Plaza from Parks and Rec, so I get that a lot.
That's fine. Last question before we start moving on. Your dream fatal four-way, so you and three other women, if you could choose, if there wasn't like anyone it was available, who past or present, who would be in your fatal four-way?
I think my dream fatal four way would be me, Rhea
Okay.
Ripley, Statlander, and Megan Bain. I just want all the baddies just straight up in there, beat me up.
Book book it, somebody. Book it. I
Book it.
don't know how possible it is, but book it if it was possible. Um, Mention tattoos. You've got an abundance of. I've got
Yes,
10. Is there
yes.
anyone, is there any tattoo there with a particular meaning or a particular story behind?
Um, all of my tattoos are pretty silly, and they do have a lot of meaning. I'll hopefully you can show this, but my favorite tattoo, I don't know if you can see it from this
Yeah,
angle, is a portrait of my sweet baby dog, Luigi Leone. So
brilliant.
that's my favorite tattoo. It means the world to me. Got it done by one of my like friends, artists, and he's done most of my work. If you want to
Excellent.
know, I don't know, as like dumbest tattoo, I got too many dumb ones that mean nothing.
I've got a few wrestling related. I've got the Brood one. I've got the
Mhm.
Rated R Star here. That side, I've got some dice on fire, but it's the numbers of the dice, which is 316, which is Stone
Uh-huh.
Cold Steve Austin, 316. The dumbest one, it could be my soccer team because they're probably going to be relegated, so I won't show you that. Well, there is that, but it's probably the silly little Chinese thing I've got here, which is apparently my name in Chinese, but it probably means chicken and chips or something like that. You don't know, right? Anyway, look, as we move forward into 2026 now, we'll start to wrap up. But as we move forward into 2026, what are your have you set yourself goals? I know Bailey has just announced another Lodestone seminar for Las Vegas. Is that something that you may be looking to go to?
Absolutely. So I have three big goals this year. That probably four, three big goals. I would love to be able to attend and be invited to Lodestone. That is like top tier number one. I would love to wrestle at the dungeon. I hope to God one day I get an invite to go work in the dungeon. And then, if possible, there is a promotion in my hometown that's doing a show called War on the Shore at the bar that I used to go to when I was fresh 21, partying my butt off. So to be able to go back and wrestle there and represent New Jersey at the Jersey Shore, oh, it mean the world to me.
There we go.
Yeah.
A couple of my friends over here got the opportunity to do Lodestone, the first one. Sapphire and Anita Vaughan. So
Yes.
they're called hyperactive for a reason. You know that where they say that the best wrestling characters play themselves, just I'm amped up.
Yep. Yep.
That's them.
Oh,
We
I love
had
that.
Nikki Blackheart on recently as well,
Yep.
right? So
Yeah.
Nikki, come on.
She was at her
Yeah.
trial too. I saw her there.
She got hurt. She's probably done really, really well by the sounds of it. I don't know
Mhm.
if the contract is there, but if it's not, it probably will be.
Right.
But they couldn't agree. They couldn't talk enough about Bailey, and I think
Yeah.
Rhea was there. I think Natty was there. John Cena, you managed to see him. Yeah, he was there. He was around. So that has got to be. I think that's got to be on a lot of the radars, hasn't it? Lodestar, because it just seems to be.
Yeah.
You get to learn from the best. I mean, there's not much better than that, right?
It's so cool. And to be surrounded by women. Like there,
Yes.
even though there's more women in the business, there's still never enough women in this business. So anything to be able to give women an opportunity. I can tell you when I go to practice sometimes, I am the only female there surrounded by men. When I go to shows, there are not females there. And I just want women to know that safe space, a fun space, a place where you can succeed. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with that more. We're massive advocates of women's wrestling on this channel as well, and the promotion Ignite that we work for in the UK. We do our best to get as as many women's. It's not to say difficult to get it on there, but we try and make it happen. I mean, my former champion of our championship, the Turnbuckle Championship, was a woman. Unfortunately, she had to relinquish the title before the last show, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, look, the more women that get on shows, the more women that are training, the more women that are going to classes, the better
Yep.
for wrestling as well. So make sure if you're a woman and you want to get in there, just do it. There's plenty of opportunity. Just do it.
Yeah.
Last question, and then we'll start wrapping up. Look, what have you got coming up in 20? What have you got that you can announce that you've got coming up in 20? And if you are available for bookings, how can they book you?
Sure. So coming up in 2026 already, oh my God. Wildkat Sports has a show April 4th in the New Orleans area. It is family friendly. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be all kinds of matches, and we have two of my favorite women coming to town to work. Promise Braxton, who is one of Natty Neidhart's favorite new people, and she just got her WWE tryout. And then Jasmine Allure, who's been working all over the place for years. They're going to be at the show, plus me and my mortal enemy, Kalia Love. So that's going to be great, April 4th. And then we have a few other shows that are going on. So if you're in town for Hogs for the Cause, you can come check us out there. I don't remember the date. I don't know if I'm potential. I want to be ready for bookings. I'm going to say this summer, hit me up and book me. You can do so by just going to my Instagram at Lucky_Wrestles.
Make sure you do it. Anyone in the UK as well, I'm sure you could fly over,
I got
right?
a passport. Let me know. I got best friends who live in Paris. I got people all over the world. Hit me up.
There you go. Right. As I wrap up, I've got to do my bit now. So I mentioned there, unfortunately, Aluna had to drop our Turnbuckle Championship. That was won by, I call him Mr. Happy because a bit like the Comet, he smiles once in every 3,000 years. Chris Aries become the first ever Ignite Grand Slam champion. So congratulations to him. But your first opponent has been announced, and you'll be facing Denzel Mack, May Day Bank Holiday over here in the UK. But of course, Ignite was dominated by the unsavory scenes that happened at the end of the show and that spilled out into the foyer at the end with the crowd. And we do still apologize for that. The Rebellion, well, we'll find out what happens to them in the near future. But our general manager, CJ Carter, is not a happy bunny, who we saying. But congratulations also to Tommy Tanner, who won the Ignite Wrestling Heavyweight Championship on that show as well. Get your tickets May 3rd. They are already, nearly 50% gone by looking at it already. So you better hurry up if you want to come down to that show. Coming up on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, the artist formerly known as Ridge Holland will be in the recording studio this week, as will former ECW star and MLW star C.W. Anderson will be joining us at the end of the week. And of course, like I mentioned before, I'm allowed now to call him Uncle Eric. Eric Bischoff, for the fourth time, will be joining us on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. So we're really happy for that. But Lucky, look, it's been great talking to you. I'm going to look forward. Wildkat Sports, by the way, YouTube. You can go and watch it on YouTube if you're not over here, or if you're over here, so in the UK, or even if you're not and you want to go and watch some wrestling, go and check it out.
Yeah.
You will be seeing Lucky in action on Wildkat Sports. So make sure you go and check out the YouTube. Go and follow Lucky on our social media. We'll thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing you more in 2026, hopefully over here as
Yes,
well.
please, and thank you. I would love it. So thank you for having me.
No problem at all. From Lucky, I've been your host, Adam Cousins, and you've been watching the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Enjoy Elimination Chamber, obviously at time of recording. We'll be back tomorrow with that and the wrap up of this week in wrestling. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and good night.